Steve Paul Jobs was an American entrepreneur and business leader who played a central role in shaping the modern personal technology industry. He was a co-founder of Apple Inc., and he later became one of its most influential executives. Through a combination of product design focus, marketing clarity, and strategic leadership, he helped bring personal computers, digital music players, smartphones, and tablet computers into everyday life. His work had a lasting impact on technology, media, and consumer culture. Steve Paul Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California. He was adopted shortly after birth by Paul and Clara Jobs and was raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. His adoptive father worked as a machinist and introduced him to basic electronics and mechanical work at a young age. During this period, Jobs developed an early interest in technology and craftsmanship. He attended Homestead High School in Cupertino, where he met Steve Wozniak, a talented electronics enthusiast who would later become a key collaborator. After graduating from high school in 1972, Jobs enrolled at Reed College in Portland, Oregon. He formally attended for only one semester before leaving due to the cost of tuition, though he continued to audit classes that interested him. One of these classes focused on calligraphy, which later influenced his appreciation for typography and visual design. During this period, Jobs also explored spiritual ideas and traveled to India, experiences that shaped his worldview and personal philosophy. In the mid-1970s, Jobs reconnected with Steve Wozniak, who had developed a prototype personal computer. In 1976, along with Ronald Wayne, they co-founded Apple Computer in the Jobs family garage. The Apple I was introduced first, followed by the Apple II, which became one of the first highly successful mass-produced personal computers. As a result, Apple grew rapidly and became a major player in the emerging personal computer market. In 1980, Apple went public, making Jobs a wealthy individual at a young age. During the early 1980s, Apple worked on the Macintosh project, which aimed to create a more accessible computer using a graphical user interface and a mouse. The Macintosh was released in 1984 and became an important milestone in personal computing. However, internal disagreements over management and direction led to increasing tension within the company. In 1985, Jobs left Apple after losing a power struggle with the board of directors and then CEO John Sculley. Later on, he founded Next Inc., a company focused on developing high-end computers for education and business markets. Although Next computers were not commercially successful, their advanced software architecture would later become significant. During this same period, Jobs acquired a small graphics division from Lucasfilm, which eventually became Pixar Animation Studios. Under his leadership, Pixar produced a series of commercially and critically successful animated films. In 1995, Pixar released Toy Story, the first feature-length computer-animated film, and the company later went public. In 2006, Pixar was acquired by the Walt Disney Company, making Jobs its largest individual shareholder and a member of Disney's board of directors. In 1997, Apple acquired Next, bringing Jobs back to the company he had co-founded. He initially returned as an advisor and then became interim chief executive officer. At that time, Apple was facing serious financial and organizational difficulties. As a result, Jobs streamlined the company's product line, ended unprofitable projects, and focused on a small number of core products. In 1998, Apple introduced the iMac, a consumer desktop computer that emphasized simplicity and industrial design. The iMac marked a turning point for the company and helped restore its public image and financial stability. In the years that followed, Jobs oversaw the development of a series of products that expanded Apple's influence beyond personal computers. In 2001, Apple released the iPod, a portable digital music player that, combined with the iTunes software and later the iTunes Store, transformed the music industry. In 2007, Apple introduced the iPhone, integrating a phone, music player, and internet communication device into a single touchscreen product. The iPhone played a major role in reshaping the smartphone market and influencing mobile computing worldwide. In 2010, Apple released the iPad, a tablet computer positioned between a smartphone and a laptop. The iPad further expanded Apple's ecosystem and reinforced its emphasis on integrated hardware and software. During this period, Apple became one of the most valuable companies in the world, and Jobs became widely recognized as a leading figure in the technology industry. Despite professional success, Jobs faced serious health challenges. In 2003, he was diagnosed with a rare form of pancreatic neuroendocrine tumor. He underwent treatment and took medical leaves of absence from Apple in subsequent years. In 2009, he received a liver transplant. Although he continued to participate in major company decisions, his health gradually declined. In August 2011, Jobs resigned as Chief Executive Officer of Apple, recommending Tim Cook as his successor. He remained chairman of the board for a short period afterwards. Steve Jobs died on October 5, 2011, at the age of 56 due to complications related to his illness. Steve Jobs is remembered as a key figure in the history of modern technology. His leadership helped define Apple's approach to product development, emphasizing design, user experience, and tight integration between hardware and software. The products developed under his direction influenced how people communicate, work, and access information. In the long term, his legacy extends beyond specific devices or companies. He contributed to the popularization of personal computing, digital animation, mobile technology, and digital media distribution. Through Apple and Pixar, his work continues to shape industries and consumer expectations. His career remains an important case study in innovation, entrepreneurship, and the evolution of the technology sector. This concludes an overview of Steve Jobs, his life, and his historical significance, presented within the broader context of technological change in the late 19th and early 21st centuries.